What's up everyone, Shane here with ROA Off-Road. Today is another Campfire rant. Today I'm going to talk about how I used to think working with small manufacturers was the best thing in the world, and you should avoid working with big manufacturers because they're just out of touch, out of reach, and they're not as good as the small guys. But my opinion has changed a lot in recent years. So let's get into that. Okay, if you like these Campfire rants, we actually do a live rant the first Thursday of every month. Go check out our playlist, tons of different topics we go over. Sometimes they're rants, sometimes they're educational. Today, I think this is gonna be more of a rant. And the reason why is because I've been thinking lately about my experience with working with manufacturers over the years. ROA Off-Road, or RVs of America, has been in business for just over 15 years now. And so we've had a lot of different type of manufacturers we've worked with over the years. And generally, I've always thought, small mom and pop shops are the best place to work with because you get to work more with the founder, and that makes a big difference. But there are some big manufacturers out there that have founders still operating them. And I still think that's definitely really cool when you can be working with the founders more often. But over the years, as we have had more opportunities and we've built, a brand, we've had big manufacturers reach out to us. And at first we were a little bit like, I don't know how this is gonna be. I was once having a conversation with a local dealer down the street with me, and he said, you know what, Shane, I'm just done with working with the small manufacturers. And I was like, what? And it was so like the opposite of it. I was all about the small. And he was like, no, I only wanna work with the big ones. And I was like, what do you mean, why? And he's like, dude, in the Great Recession last time, the small guys, got destroyed, and a lot of them went out of business. And he says, and then I was sitting here with all these trailers with no manufacturer to back them, nobody to support them, and warranty got really bad, and it didn't exist anymore. Because if they go out of business, there's no warranty. So who's responsible now? I sold it, but I didn't build it. He said, it just put me in a really bad situation. And he said, at that point forward, I started to say, no, I want to work with the big manufacturers because I know they're going to be around. I know they're going to be able to support the customers. The warranty is actually going to be there. And I thought, that's interesting. Now, as time has gone on, I do love the small manufacturers we work with. And we have really tried to focus with the smaller ones that are passionate about what they do. They're passionate about the quality and the product. Another thing that I kind of look for is financial stability, because I don't want these small startups that are like not really actually financially stable, because when issues arise, when you do have problems, like you really want somebody to be able to come in and back you up with warranty and support. And sometimes when you're dealing with really small startups, you don't always get that same support. As we've moved into working with some of the bigger manufacturers, man, the support has been so incredible. The infrastructure, the ability to actually submit a warranty claim and be able to track it, because when you're dealing with somebody really small, they're like trying to put this into a spreadsheet. We recently signed up a couple years ago with Palomino, which is the sub-company of Forest River, which is owned by Berkshire Hathaway. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. And I was like, man, I don't know how this is gonna be. Hopefully it will be good. Now, the neat thing is I thought maybe they were gonna be a little out of touch, kind of disconnected from the market. And that has been very not true in any way. I can't speak for all big manufacturers because I think some are. Some of the big corporate, I've made jokes in the past that I'm pretty sure the founder and CEO of Camping World has never camped in a trailer. I don't know if that's true. I subscribe to their magazine and I read through it, and he has sometimes like articles that he's written. And I'm just like, as I read it, I'm like, this guy's never camped in an RV. You can just tell by the way he talks about them. So there can be situations where the big companies, they're not in touch with the market, with the people that are actually using the trailers. Now, my experience with Pause, the division of Palomino, they've been very in touch. They've been users, they've been out camping in the trailers. But one of the cool things about that, besides them being really cool and using the campers, is the infrastructure that is backed behind them, right? Through Forest River. So like when we need to go and submit a warranty, they have an online portal that we log in, and you think, well, obviously everybody's gonna have this. Honda, Toyota, Chevy. Once again, you're talking multi-billion-dollar companies, right? So they have this really easy to use portal system that you go in, you submit everything, things don't get lost, balls don't get dropped. So my perception over the years has started to change a little bit. Working with some of the small shops though they're passionate and what they're doing is really, really cool. But like, I always get a little worried. Are you gonna be here tomorrow? What happens if 2008 comes again? Are we gonna see you around? That can be a little nerve-wracking. Whether they're small or not is not always the biggest concern, but it's like, are they financially stable? Have they been in business for a long time? Because I know personally, like over the years, during summertime when things are going really good, you make different decisions than when it's wintertime and things are tight. You tend to, maybe hold that checkbook closer to your, closer to yourself, and you don't want to write checks as much as you would maybe in spring or summer. And that's why it's so important to be able to work with somebody that really has some experience. And I definitely feel like our manufacturers, that is something that I'm kind of trying to vet out. Sometimes you don't know, sometimes it's hard to know. Because everybody wants to create this perception of, things are really good. And then as you start digging in, you usually start finding out when you get declined warranties. Some of this is ethics and values and morals of like what people believe they should and shouldn't do. But other things are like, no, like you're doing okay. You're managing your company to a point where you have excess and you are able to really back up your product. And I've been really impressed with, obviously Pause has been amazing, and MDC and Imperial, even Imperial, all the manufacturers we have, they've had issues here and there. Both Pause and Imperial, they've had their trailers shipped back and have had things fixed and shipped back to the customer, and that just blows my mind. I never thought anybody would ever do that. We're relatively new with MDC. Their warranty has been on spot all the time. I've been very happy with them. Sometimes when you get with some of these very, very small startup manufacturers, it's not always that their warranty is not good. It's just new. They don't know what they're doing. They're trying to figure it out, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. That always gives me a little bit of reservation. My perception, like I said, I started this with saying I used to be all about the startups, the mom and pops. As time has gone on, I definitely do appreciate, some of these companies that have been around a decade, 2 decades. I mean, think about it. MDC's been around for almost 2 decades. Imperial's been around for, I think, 15 to 20 years. Palomino's been around for 40 to 50 years. And these are the manufacturers by far are the ones that are standing behind their products more than anybody else. Some of the manufacturers we don't carry anymore. They were brand new to the industry. They were had been in the industry for a few months by the time we synced up with them. And you're thinking, man, if everything goes right, this could be really good. But if things go wrong, this could be an unfortunate experience, not just for us, but for them, but also for everybody that buys the trailers through them. So there you have it. That really is my rant today. I've had a shift in my experience over the years, and I wanted to share that with people to say it's not always bad to work with one of the big boys, like one of the big manufacturers out there, because sometimes that experience and that time, it ends up giving you, the end user, a better experience in the end. And there you have it. If you enjoyed this, make some comments below. Tell me what your thoughts are. Would you rather work with a young startup mom and pop shop, or would you prefer to work with one of the big, whatever, the Thors or Forest Rivers of the world? Those are big ones. Or would you go with one of those medium-sized companies? There's always a good reason to go one way or the other, and I'm not saying one is better or worse. My experience is I've enjoyed more experience behind the people. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this. Make your comment below and tell us what you would prefer, and have a wonderful day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.